everyone, this is Jennifer. I am a legal assistant with Farmer & Wright, and thanks so much just for joining us today. As you know, every day we are coming Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, to just answer your financial questions and really kind of talk to you about options that you have right now during COVID-19. So thanks again just for joining us. And we have Todd Farmer with us. And Todd, don't you agree that this right now is one of the best ways that we are able just to communicate what we're doing as a firm and everything?
Well, it's really great. If you'd have told me 5 years ago we'd all be sitting around our computer having live discussions, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But, it's great. I think this is the new way of doing business for people, whether you're talking to your attorney or you're having an e-visit for your doctor's appointment. This is the best and safest way to communicate.
And right now, actually, we're seeing that a lot of firms, and us included, are going to kind of visual or video consults just like this. I think that the common misperception right now is that law firms aren't working. And really, the biggest one are courts aren't working. We're actually preparing for court tomorrow, where people are going in right now and getting protected by their creditors. And so those processes aren't stopping. So we just want to stress that to people right now, that if you are in a financial situation, and distress, that we're here for you. How do you think those video consults are doing? I mean, do you feel like there's a difference for clients? I mean, how do you like those, Todd?
It's really interesting. I think I had more apprehension than the clients do. I think the clients have really appreciated being able to get answers to their questions immediately and get answers from their questions from the safety of their home. I've met with a number of people who, they're at home and they've got a lot on their mind. And I've been able to kind of ease their concerns and help them deal with their problems. And they haven't even had to leave their house. So now they've got a plan going forward. And I think it's really been helpful to people.
And I just think of myself this morning trying to get ready to work, and I have a child, and, dogs are barking. And just the fact that I would be able to call an attorney and talk to them right there without having to get all of that together in this stressful time to expose yourself really gives you confidence of that. So, well, we appreciate you taking time. And of course, if you're needing assistance, definitely give us a call or send us a message so we can start with a video consult. Todd, we did get some questions. Of course, if you have questions for us, make sure you submit them. I love to get those private messages. So first off, Heather with Louisville. So we know that this week the word is right now the stimulus checks are being deposited. You can check that out at the IRS website. But she said, with the stimulus check, what's the best way to negotiate with my creditors if I want to start settling my debts?
Well, a couple things. First, the first question I would ask before I negotiated with creditors and I used my stimulus check or I used my existing savings to do that, the first question I would ask is, do I have enough funds to deal with all of my creditors in one fell swoop? If what I don't want to do, and I hope people don't do, is they don't take their existing savings or they don't take their stimulus check and just go out there and negotiate with one creditor who happens to be the squeaky wheel, and then they negotiate with that creditor, reach a resolution, and then next month they've got a handful of other creditors raising their hand and being really aggressive on trying to collect. So the first question I would ask is, do you have the funds to deal with all of them at one time? Because that's what I'm trying to work with people on, is let's find a way to deal with everybody at one time. And typically those creditors, there's a misconception that you can call them up and explain your situation and they'll just somehow be sympathetic, and that's not true. They don't care. Their job is to collect the debt, and their idea of negotiating with individuals is, you pay me a lump sum today and we'll talk. Mm-hmm. So unless you're in a position where you can offer them a large lump sum to settle that debt, I'm not seeing creditors doing a lot of negotiating.
And I think we always say that a creditor negotiates with the method of payment.
That's right. They'll take cash, check, or credit card. Yeah.
Right. That's really the only kind of negotiation they have. And I mean, it would be great. I love to hear like companies like our insurance are giving us kind of credits back and kind of helping us through that. But we have to keep in mind that creditors aren't kind of in that customer service field. where to them, it's still a debt that they're collecting.
Yeah, their job, a creditor's job is to collect the debt.
Mhm.
And that's their only job, is to get that debt collected. So you've got to, when you're talking to them, you need to understand that's the position that they're in and that's their goal. And so that's why I want to make sure everybody's able. What we've been doing is talking to people in this time about, okay, I've got a temporary loss of employment. Money's running a little short. Well, let's come up with a comprehensive plan of how we can deal with all of your debt at one time. That way, when we go back to work and everybody gets back out in public, you've got a plan and you can kind of hit the ground running at that point.
And we're, I think, really taking that proactive approach right now with all of our clients of saying, again, the people that are kind of taking a hold of this at this point versus allowing 2 or 3 months to get behind are the ones that are going to come out very strong. So if you are in that situation right now and you're finding that your stimulus check is just not even a temporary Band-Aid, then that's the time that you need to give us a call so we can kind of talk to you about your options. Actually, this is exactly kind of a follow-up. George from Paducah said, unemployment may not cover my daily expenses or my monthly expenses. Should I take out a short-term loan?
Well, what I don't recommend very often that people dig deeper in debt to meet their monthly obligations. As we sit here today, we don't know if 2 weeks from now everybody's back to work. I don't think that's realistic. Is it going to be 2 weeks? Is it going to be 2 months? And, I talked to someone yesterday who went on unemployment and they don't know for sure if that job's even going to be there when the economy reopens. So I would really want to get a consultation to discuss what does this look like under either scenario and how can I make sure that I'm taking care of my essential expenses first.
Okay, perfect. So in that case, George, you need to give us a call, set up a video consult just like this. I definitely agree a short-term loan probably is not, again, the full solution to it. Lewis from Mayfield said, it actually settle a debate. Creditors aren't collecting right now. I think we even just started kind of talking about that. I guess they had a debate.
Well, under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, creditors can call from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. And so they are still collecting every day. Congress has not passed any legislation to prevent them from filing lawsuits, from seeking to garnish wages, from seeking to garnish bank accounts, from attempting to collect their debts. The credit collection industry is open for business, let me assure you.
And we actually monitor those. We're seeing that really we have not seen kind of a deduction or a reduction of lawsuits. People may not be getting necessarily sued or served with those, but that doesn't mean necessarily that there's not those actions happening. And what does that mean specifically for, I guess, unemployment and stimulus? So if I know that a creditor could potentially be coming at me, is that funds that they can access?
Yes, those funds are not exempt from creditor attachment. The second those funds hit someone's bank account, if you have a judgment against you, that creditor could step in that day and garnish those funds and intercept those funds. So there is no protection for those items.
And I think that's a key that we need to start, because everybody always uses the terms garnishment. Well, of course, if I'm not working, one of my concerns is keeping what money I have, but just to know that I can be standing somewhere getting groceries or necessary needs, and my car could get declined because a creditor came in and basically took my money. Is that right, Todd?
That's right. Those things are still happening every day.
All right. Well, I guess in that case, if you're in that situation as well, give us a call. A video consult is just like this. In the comfort of your home, you can be wearing pajamas. We will be happy to discuss those matters with you. So if you are needing that, just make sure you give us a call or send us a message. If you know of anybody who does need to kind of hear this message, make sure you hit the share button, send it to them in private message and just say, hey, I think this is some really great information. Lewis, with that debate that you have, send it with them and say, yep, creditors are still collecting. And make sure you like our page so you can get notifications. And we'll see you then tomorrow, again, same time, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. And thanks so much, Todd, for joining
Hey, no
us.
problem. You can call us or video us anytime.
All right. Thank you. Bye.